As the villager fondly sleeps, unknowing of what will happen, on the other side of the planet, one city is refusing to sleep. The city of Sampu, with its 500,000 inhabitants, are on the alert as to where the beast will show. But unlike Sabna, the city has a mech to defend itself. The 80-meter-tall, four-armed mech Voxta stands in guard of the city's outskirts. Within the mech, all pilots Hiva, Krier, and Fnair knows what is at stake, and they are ready. A voice comes through the intercoms. "It's here. Prepare yourselves." The roars of Zero draws closer and closer, followed by electrified bolts. Their battle will now begin. The moon sets and the sun rises. It is morning at last. Around the village, the civilians are waking up to pods big enough to fit at least 8. Thel, walking out of the hotel along with Vin and Hess, notices the pods standing out in the open. Where did these come from? Maybe they came from the capital? Impossible. These have to be old models. I guess we didn't notice them right away. An emergency message comes into Thel's wrist device.
"Incoming message directly from the High Council.
What did they say?
All warriors of planet Nibiru, the city of Samna was destroyed, along with the city of Dazna. All within 1 year.
What? Don't both of those cities have mechs?
Status of Battle Mech Voxta and Battle Support Mech Dona. Destroyed. Pilots deceased."
Fula boy. That is all the more reason to head off. Let us move. Thel? Yes, I know. We will stop at Sagia first. Vin suddenly makes a disheveled look on her face. She walks up to Thel and grabs his arm. What is this? Vin, please, we do not have time for this. You're honoring a promise to him and not honoring mine? He has family and friends too. Do you want them to die? No. But if we keep making stops in cities, the chances of reaching Teal drastically decreases. I am very aware of that. But we want to get as many people off of the planet as possible. If we pass them, then they will meet the same fate. Vin cannot think of anything to say. She lets out a lighter sigh than usual. The sound of one of the pods launching into the sky gets their attention. They witness more and more pods lifting off past the clouds into the atmosphere. Vin looks down from the sky and gives out another light sigh. Okay. We'll do it. Right then. Off we go, yes? Thel, Vin, and Hess drives to the green Navanu desert. The bikes flying over the green sand kicks up a massive dust trail. The three looks up into the sky. The change in color from blue skies to a more brightish orange. The air around them is beginning to send off a scent of blood. An unsettling sight. Hess shivers from head to toe. How far to Sagia?
Distance closing in.
Hess gains more speed, going past Thel in the lead. The three steps out into the open. Large, billowing stacks of black smoke rises into the atmosphere. Hess's eyes widens. Oh no. He gains more speed. Concern overcomes him. The stacks of smoke become thicker as they get closer. The city comes into view with a predictable yet horrifying sight. My valve! Hess hits the brakes hard, drifting to a stop. He quickly mounts off of the bike, throwing his helmet on the sand. Thel and Vin stops their bikes and mounts up theirs, chasing after him. Hess, wait! The two catches up to him. They grab his arms, stopping him in its tracks. Let go of me! I have to see if they are... And Hess, it is not worth it! Hess continues to pull forward. His face expresses anger and frustration. But then, he slowly calms down, and his face changes to sadness and grief. He comes to a stop, and his head lowers. It's all gone. He collapses to his hands and knees. We couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. Hess, I should have gotten here sooner. If only we didn't constantly stop. It is all right. Famalika! They're all gone. My friends, who I've known forever, never to return. I'm not sure if Mother made it out alive. I am certain that she did. Please, you happen to believe that she is alive. Hess wipes the tears away from his face. I'm not sure if I can. Hess, it is all right. Proleknatai. Thel kneels down next to his friend. Vin does the same. He gently lifts his head up, and the three presses their foreheads together. Grand Lord of the heavenly stars, we plead with you that you send the innocent souls to your domain. Give them the opportunity to rest in eternal slumber. Please, forgive their wrongdoings in their past, and put faith among those who are still living. We are making a promise to the unfortunate and doomed that their deaths will never be in vain, and may we have the strength to defeat the greatest threat in our history. Fulana Nobori, Falgoemuli. It was a situation that could have been avoided had we arrived much sooner. The sadness from Hes was felt by myself and Vin. It was at that moment we realized, if we do not stop Zero, then we will, indeed, become extinct. Did you make it to your destination? Thankfully, yes. But right away, something seemed very, weird. The three mech pilots' hoverbike sits next to an edge of a cliff. They stare out in the distance. Far to the left are the Maizel Mountains, but at the center is the site of the city of Zamta. We have made it in time, and it's in one piece. For now. Hez looks carefully at the landscape. Indeed, it seems every building and skyscraper is still intact, which means Zero has not arrived yet. His eyes gaze downwards. Immediately, he spots something. Columns of Niborians standing on the very outskirts of the city. He points to the massive columns. Hey, look at that. Bell and Vin turns their attention to them. Wait, are those Niborian knights? Hez looks towards them. I thought the knights are supposed to guard the capital. What are they doing here? I do not know. Maybe the commander has an answer for that. Let us get down there. The Niborian Knights looks all around the sky, looking out for Zero that can arrive at any moment. A knight looks down, exhaustingly exhaling. Her eyes veers out ahead and spots the three incoming vehicles. Mark 1s, inbound! Her squad of knights looks ahead and sees them. The hoverbike slows their approach to the knights. As they stop and they power down, Captain Vu approaches them. I am very sorry, but I'm afraid that I'll have to ask you to pull back to somewhere else. The green dust clears the way as Thel and his pilots mounts off of their hoverbikes. Captain, I'm sorry to say that it will be impossible, considering that we are supposed to be here, and there is nowhere else to go to. The captain scoffs at his comment. She looks closely at their combat suits. Then, her eyes turns to Vin. Vin? Sauki? My heavenly stars! You're alive! The two female Niborians runs to each other and embraces each other. It has been so long! I thought you would have forgotten about me! How could I ever forget about you? Dallin has witnesses this family reunion and couldn't help but smile. The two females stop and looks at each other. How did you survive? You can thank my co-pilots for that. They turn to them. Let me introduce you. That's Sal of the Mooning Dynasty, and Hes of the Gazuni Dynasty. Nice to meet you, madam. Hello. My word. What happened to Vuki? Dell raises his right arm. It's right here.
At your service and assistance.
Now, let us ask you a question. What are the Niborian Knights doing in Zamta? I thought the duty of a knight is supposed to defend the capital, defend the royal family, and eliminate any heretics that soil our name. Sauki steps back from Vin and lets out a sigh. I do not know what to tell you. Yes, we are supposed to defend the capital, but, and not to sound like a heretic, Her Majesty, in her infinite wisdom, decided to split the night forces and the fleet to different parts of the planet. What will this accomplish? No clue. The three pilots becomes baffled at what they are hearing. That is preposterous. Why would the Empress make that decision? It is believed that it could give time for some Niborians to escape the planet. I never thought about the fleet as of late. How many ships remain? Approximately 37 ships remain within the fleet, and 800,000 are accounted for. Not going to wonder any longer. Where is Zero?
Tracking. Target located. Current location, 47 Mayas heading out from our current position.
My word. It's much closer than we thought. And how many Niborians are still alive?
Scanning. Scan complete. 40% of the planet's population are still active.
And the 60%?
Deceased.
What? All within a short span of time? The disbelief spreads through the ranks of the knights down the line. So it's true. Nibiru is on the brink of extinction. Hey, wait a moment. The fate of the world really is on our shoulders? Against a beast that is a world ender? If we fail, how are we going to defeat it? I do not know. What do you mean you? Meaning I do not have an answer for it. Hez becomes at a loss of words after what Thel just told him. Even Vin brushes her hair back, unknowing of what to say to him. But a thought does come into her mind. Well then, we should head to my home. Thel Hez looks at her baffled. What do you mean, your home? We are near the Mysel Mountains, but I haven't told you that you do not know where Tio is. Tio? The name catches the rest of the knight's attention. I have heard many stories about the first mech, but I never believed it to be in existence. It's real, and we're trying to find it. And you think your old home has the information? More than that. My grandmother was a former pilot of Tio. She would know where it is, and it's somewhere within the basement. All right. I shall put my trust in you. I mean, we have come this far, right? I do not see a problem here. Good. Thank you.
Alert! Alert! Target changing course. Target changing course.
Pinpoint its location and direction.
Analyzing. Confirmed. Zero is heading V's.
Everyone becomes shocked and alarmed. It's heading for Zumta. Knights! Zero is coming! Send out the flares! The Knights reaches to their side and pulls out their flare gun. Red flares shoots up into the air. The inhabitants seize the flares, and right away, they all know what is coming. Whatever activity they were doing, they drop it to seek their designated shelter. Vin, wherever your home is, I hope that basement of yours is a good enough shelter. Hopefully it is. But my home is about 5 meters from our position. We can make it there by hoverbike. Dylan Hez nods without hesitation. Then we should not waste any more time. Onto the bikes! Move! The pilots runs to their bikes and mounts on them. The bike's engines turns on and lifts off of the ground. Vin! Chamney looks at her. If I do not survive this, I just want to say that I'm sorry that I never believed you. Or your grandmother. Without uttering a word, Vin nods her head. Now go! The bikes flies past her into the city. Entering the city of Zumta 1.5 minutes later, the 3 pilots passes through the 80-meter-tall towers and over the fleeing civilian population. Looking around, they can see that they are scrambling as fast as they can to rush to the shelters. The older Laborians are praying to the skies above, shouting, "Beloved Zero, please spare our city and children. They know nothing of the power that you wield." Oh my stars. It's much worse than we thought. We cannot stay here. How much longer, Fuki? Zero will arrive in -2 meters at the speed of 300 novice. My home is 3 meters away on bike. Follow me. Vin turns her bike to the right. Thelen Hess follows her. The 3 speeds along the long highway, maneuvering around the vehicles and civilians blocking the path. On the ground, as the people runs down stairways that leads into the underground, roars echoes throughout the air. Warning, Zero's arrival in -1 meter. The crackling of lightning is heard throughout the city. Van, just keep going. There's only 1 meter left. Do not falter. The roars becomes louder. The pilot speeds ahead. Alert, Zero in city limits. Please hurry. Almost there. The bike turns a corner to their right and travels down a single road. Here! She hits the brakes in front of a house on the right side. Talon Hess quickly stops and parks their bikes next to her. The site of Vin's old house is in their sights and intact, but in a very and complete vandalized state than the others. Fantastic! This is exactly what I needed to see. Hess looks behind him. The figure of Zero lands on the ground. Okay, let's chat more running. Where is your basement? Vin runs towards where the front door used to be, with Thel and Hess following. They run past the living room into the hallway. Suddenly, she stops. What are you doing? Her hands touches the wall in front of her. If I remember correctly, Grandmother told me it should be right here. She presses on the wall. It splits open, revealing a hidden passageway. Without hesitation, the 3 runs inside as the explosion reaches the house. The door closes as the house is blown into pieces, then nothing. It was, how you say, in the nick of time. Zero was near and upon us, but we survived. That's good to hear. You know, I have done research on these natural disasters, the elements of Earth's nature, atmosphere, and weather, where it comes to a heavily populated area. You seek shelter where there is a disaster looming on the horizon, like the so-called tornadoes, hurricanes, and tsunamis, yes? Yes, we do. But sometimes here in my country, we tend to get earthquakes, and they are unpredictable. I guess we can relate to something. And I guess Zero is the equivalent of a natural disaster. Looming, approaching, and with little time to seek shelter. Next time, the final chapter of this novel, appropriately titled A Planet's Downfall.